This is the class question from the 2021 exam. So here we have a single table class. The single table class they have written for us. It's got a get number of seats. It's got a get height, get view quality, and set view quality. What we're going to do is combine two single tables to make a combined table. So a combined table can set the number of customers to fewer than the number of seats on the single table. A combined table has a desirability that depends on the view heights of the single tables. If the heights are the same, then it'll be the average of the views or the desirabilities. If the two tables are not the same height, then it's going to be the average minus 10. So here's a picture of what's going on. They gave us 3 single tables, so T1, T2, T3. So we make the constructor of a combined table using table 1 and table 2. They want to know if this combined table can sit 19. So table 1 has 4, table 2 has 8, so 4 plus 8 is 12. 12 minus 2 is 10, and that's smaller than 10, so that's true. C1 can seat 11. Well, we knew we could only sit 10, so no. Return false. C1 dot get desirability. Remember, the desirability comes off of the fact if they're the same height or not. So right here, table 1 and table 2 are the same height. So since they are the same height, we average these values. Here's a new combined table. It's combining table 2 and table 3. So can we set 18? So we're combining table 2 and table 3. So there's 20 minus 2, so 18. So yes, get desirability. So here notice that our heights are not the same. So we average these values and then subtract 10. And T2 dot set desirability changes the view quality of one of the tables. So we want to write the combined table class, and it has to work exactly for this. So first thing we notice is that our combined table is composed of 2 single tables. So our method header will be public class combined table. Our combined table are 2 single tables, so that's going to be our instance variables. So private, remember instance variables are always private in the class question. The data type is a single table, and we'll call it T1, T2, table 1, table 2. So next thing is our constructor. Remember, our constructor has the same name as the class, so public combined table. We pass in 2 single tables. So I'm going to call that T1 just so it's different. I could also just call it the same variable. So single table, I'll just call it T2 this time. So table 1 is going to be equal to table 1. Now I use the same variable name as this over here, so that you would say this dot table 2 is equal to table 2. You do not have to use this dot, but you will see it every now and then. The next thing they asked us to write was can seat. Remember, can seat is going to return a Boolean, whether we can seat that amount of people or not. So public Boolean can seat. We passed in an integer of the number of people that we want to seat. So int, that's not it, this is if. So int chairs, that's how many chairs we have available, are going to be T1 dot get num seats plus T2.get num seats minus 2. So if our chairs are bigger than or equal than the amount of people, then we return true. Else we return false. Now, it is totally possible to do that all in one thing and not write an if statement. I just think that makes it a little clearer for us right now. The other thing they wanted us to do was to write get desirability. So get desirability returned a double, nothing's passed in. Your object, combined table, we'll call it. So the first thing I'm gonna do is just get the average of the two. So double average is gonna be T1 dot get view quality. And T2 dot get view quality. Now, oops, I forgot to divide by 2. So next thing I'm gonna do is if the tables have the same height, then that'll be their average that we return. Otherwise, we take the average and subtract 10. So if T1.getHeight equals, these are integers or doubles, so we can use equals, T2.getHeight. If the table's height were equal, we just return the average. Else, you're gonna return the average minus 10. And that is the class question. So let's see how that was graded. The first point comes from writing the method header here and the constructor header. The second point comes from naming a private instance variable. The constructor initializes the instance variables using temporaries or parameters. Has the correct method header here. Returns the correct amount of people. Get desirability header. Have to call get view quality and get height on an object. And then returns the correct things.